let me share my screen first. Share my screen. Okay, share screen. 好，here 啊，no, not here. This one, yes. And last year, I should say that we already finished the chapter one overview. I will talk the overview situation of China, and now we need to go forward. Uh, As you can see, there are 15. But do you remember we have vote uh, in the first class? Because no one wrote chapter two, uh, introduction to Hangzhou. Hangzhou actually is a city uh, from it's a capital city of Zhejiang province. Uh, Also, it's a University of Zhejiang 理工大学 So it's a university which combined Mauritius. But no one chose this chapter, so I just skip. So we go to chapter three, philosophy and religion. I remember a lot of students choose this one. So first we need to talk about philosophy because philosophy, if you want to deal with Chinese, you need to know how Chinese thinking, the model, the way Chinese people thinking. Uh, if you want to deal with Chinese, because as as you can see, a lot of business you need to do with Chinese. Uh, that's the reality. Uh, Chinese China produce uh, 70 or to 80% product of whole world. So you do business always. And a lot of China is open to the world. Anybody can go to China if you just don't break the law. Uh, so you will. Also it's opportunity. So the philosophy is most important because this is the whole Chinese how they think, how they do things. So you need to know. I think it's important, and from the philosophy also we will begin from the very old time because Chinese civilization is very long time, more than 5,000 years. So, and this civilization didn't stop, didn't break. So it's always continuous. So you need to choose, you need to come back to the source where the philosopher come from. Because the civilization is didn't stop. They always continuously. So we need to check back. And this is a book you can check and you can try find if you're interested in Chinese philosophy. And the question, let's see this one. Uh, Main schools of philosophy in ancient China. Uh, I think at least the one you know, that's Confucius, because we have Confucius institution. So today we will to first we will know what is Confucianism. Chinese philosopher, the Confucius. Confucius is the name, Confucianism. Uh, Chinese philosopher Confucius, and a lot of others, and we will introduce the other lessons. And then this way, and we will talk later about in the lesson I will talk. Mm, and this one you needn't know. It's okay. We will talk other part for modern China. Uh, so what we want choose, why we choose this way. So what country we want to build. So what we want to do in the world, uh, and what responsibility we Chinese wanted to take. Uh, what benefit want to bring to the world, because this is come from this philosophy. Uh, and there is old saying, very old time. That's me. That say, 穷则独善其身，达而兼济天下. That's mean if you are poor, you take care of yourself. If you are rich, you need help everybody. That's old Asian. This come from philosophy. So this is in root of China culture. So when China are poor, we just take care of self. We develop. Uh, Now we a little bit ability. We have a little ability to help others. So we want help. So this is some policy to develop, to open to the world. Uh, some values we will also will talk about later. So when you deal with Chinese people, you need the value. What Chinese valued? The respect. Okay. So now let's see some keywords of Chinese philosophy. The first one is Dao. Uh, Dao in Chinese, this is mean literally, this mean way. But this way is different. We not only the road, also the way you develop yourself, the way you the way how you to deal with the world, how you to deal with nature. This Dao is fundamental. So you do something, you have Dao. It's the way you deal with the world, how you deal with the universe. So Dao is very basic. Dao, this is Dao. So everything have a rule, have his Dao. The second is De. De is a virtue, power. 德 says you need how you deal with others, how you deal with the attitude you to the world. You should have virtue. You need help others. You need treat others peacefully and treat others respectfully. This is 德. 德 is a virtue of person. It's personal. So you need to improve your 德. 好，the third one is 气气 that mean air in Chinese. Air. So 气 is the most important element in the nature to human being. Why? Because we breathe with qi. Actually, you communicate with communicate with nature. Use your qi. Qi is your energy and also material force. So when you get your strength, because you have qi, while you live, you have qi. Without qi, you can't survive maybe 3 minutes, right? Without water, you can survive 3 days maybe. But qi, no. Qi most important. And here, qi also like you where you need to find your energy. You need to grow up. So anything is about qi. With qi, you can grow up. You can develop. So qi is most important in Chinese culture. I think it's also in um, where and I don't think so. But I will put I ask you a question other the slide. maybe I will share, but not this oh this because this is have the copyright. So I will first in other program, maybe is a video OK， don't worry 好的，气 that mean this is kind of energy. So in China also, Chinese, maybe you think Chinese, all Chinese have uh, kung fu martial arts. Not exactly, because not everyone, even most part of Chinese don't know any about kung fu martial arts. Because if you want strong, you need to practice, you need to train yourself, you need to get chi from practicing, from training. So there is a saying, qi gong, qi gong. So let me show you what is qi gong. Qi gong. Qi gong is a part of. Let me change. Qi gong is the martial arts. Chinese kung fu can fight. One part is qi gong. And another part is wu shu. Wu shu. It's different, just two style, but you need to put it together so you can fight. You can see 武术. See 武术. Wushu is martial arts. So what's difference of martial arts and the qigong? Qigong 和武术. What's the difference? Qigong is your inner, so it's about qi, right? The qi air. So it's about increase your strength. And wushu, it's like a technical, how you fight, how you move your body. That's wushu. So normally you see on the movie, you can see 武术 because 武术 it's a it's you can see it visible, and it's good to appreciate. You can see it, it's a very wonderful, a lot of movement. So 武术 is you can see appreciate and its movement, but qigong you can't see it. Qigong is inside, you increase your strength. Without strength, even you hit somebody, there is no hurt, right? So 武术 is outside, it's movement. Qigong is inside, how you get your strength. So maybe you don't have 武术, but you hit him, you have qigong, it's very powerful. He will hurt. So these two sides you need to combine together, then you can fight. But for foreigners, they only see 武术, but they don't see qigong. But in my mind, I think qigong is more important than 武术. This qigong can't perform, but he is real strength in your body. You need to find it, and you need to release, then you can fight. So two sides, remember qigong and 武术. So you want to fight, you learn martial arts. Also, you need qigong to help you. This I think this is a lot of people are interested in qi. So this is qi, very important in Chinese culture. 好, the fourth one is also very important. It's yi. Yi, that means change. Yi, yi, change. Okay, yi, very, very important change. Because in Chinese culture, Chinese people think everything is changing. There's no one is fixed. So the only thing never change is changing itself. So China philosopher see everything is changing. There's nothing forever. 易，这是易，易这是 mean change. 好，和 is harmony. 和 in Chinese that's mean and. Something and. 和 just mean together. So Chinese think when we together, we should harmony. So harmony just together harmony. So in Chinese philosopher, when together, only choice is harmony. You can fight to each other. So that is not together. So harmony equal to together. So when we together, you should harmony. So this is also important. This is most important words in Chinese. This one character words. And these two, I think that this one also very important. It's yin and yang. Yin, yang, that's two sides of one thing. Also, something is preferred to yin, something preferred to yang. Yin, that means darkness and light. So it's on the no sunshine. It's soft. Maybe it's a femininity, passive, and the yang is on the other side. It's bright, active, masculine, respectively. So yin is soft, yang is hard. So we will say woman, we will say yin, man, yang. So this is because say things yin and yang you should put together, then produce anything. So like a people. So when yin yang, so anything like an animal, we have female, male, right? Anything you need to produce, you should have yin and yang and combine together will produce anything. The whole world is yin yang produced. Okay, now it goes to Taiji. Taiji is together. You put yin yang together, that's a Taiji. And the Chinese Kung Fu have Taiji Chuan. Taiji Chuan, it's fight yin and yang. So Taiji Chuan is soft, like yin, right? But when you fight it with it, it's very short, very quickly. It's yang. So he put yin and yang together. So when you practice, it's yin soft, and suddenly he will fight very hard, very hard, and you can't accept it. This power, that's yang. So yin yang always combine together. So it's like China contrary to deal with the problem. See, we always China in the world is humbled. Chinese always humbled. This we say we are not so powerful. We are not so good. We need a lot of place to improve. Right? That's yin. We smile to any country, and we friend to all the world. But somebody want to bully China like America. America is the world the first bully or bully, right? He always take advantages of any country, even China. So nowadays China have young part. We can fight. We can just finish the tariff war with America. So the tariff high and low, but China never compromised. So if you raise your tariff, we will raise also. It's same. So we not so yield to your bully. So that's yang. So yin yang together, you have power. You can develop under press. That's Taiji. So Taiji Chuan is also like this. So it's very important in Chinese philosopher, Taiji and yin yang. And the Ba Gua is you just separate yin yang to 4 and separate again to 8. Ba Gua. Ba Gua is the fundamental principle of reality. There are a lot of element in the world, but basically these 8 to real everything happened. And the Wu Xing is 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So now let's see some. It's boring, right? And let's see some video. I pick some good video, objective video to you. You can see, and I will stop. And if some is wrong, I will tell you. If some I need to put more information, I will tell you. Okay. Let's see the first, the yin yang, and before that, we will see um, element. Let me check. So E. So see here first. See, we need go to another one first. So let's see the one. First one, 易经易经. Yi Jing is the book of the source of Chinese philosopher. Yi Jing, I think Chinese ancient, very old time when the Chinese realize everything is changing, never stop. So Yi Jing is very old philosophical book. See, it's the source of Chinese cosmology as well as the very fundamental of the whole Chinese culture. So Chinese always thinking, everything is changing. Everything, nothing is fixed, never change, no change. So Chinese people see things always use a developing view. Uh, 好。Let's see the E. The E is the basic point of view. So never there is nothing is always correct. Nothing is always wrong. So this is Chinese why Chinese develop so quickly. We think nothing. We need to change with the situation. React quickly. So that's you. How can you win in your career, in your whole life? You need to react. You need to change quickly. It's useful to everyone, even to your personal life. Let's check. E.
Hello everyone, my name is Yan. Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Mist of I Ching. Have you ever heard about I Ching before? What is I Ching? In this video, I'll explain to you a book which has 1,000 years of history in just 3 minutes. Hope you enjoy. I Ching is an ancient Chinese book. It literally means the book of change, as I stands for change, and Qing means script. It has no particular author, but the content of the I Ching has been added and developed by many other great Chinese people. One of those, as you all know, Confucius. Now, about 10,000 years ago, one of the Chinese legend and mythology figures, Fu Xi, created the very original symbol of the I Ching. Fu Xi thought the beginning of the universe was completely boundless, stillness, and empty until two energy or qi comes into existence. Now you probably guess what they are. Yes, it's yin and yang. He then drew a broken line to represent yin and a solid line to represent yang. Everything on Earth, including Earth itself, was created by these two energies. Now, by stacking these lines up, he discovered 8 fundamental natural phenomena on Earth, which are fire, water, wind, thunder, river, mountain, earth, and heaven. Putting them all together becomes a triagram, which you probably see somewhere in your life. Now, at this, which you probably...
Okay, let's see here. Here, this is 八卦. This is 太极. 太极. So white side is yang. This side is yin. But in white part, there is a black inside, and in black side, there is white inside. So this is commercials, also harmony. Yang have yin, yin have yang. So together is a circle, it's a perfect circle. And this 8 is 八卦. See, some line broke, some line continued. So this is in different orders, different shape. So represent different element. So this is 八卦. So 两极 there is a saying 太极生两仪，太极生两仪，两仪 is yin and yang，两仪是生四象，四象north east south west 四象，四象生八卦，八卦 is here 八卦 is here. Okay, let's continue.
Probably see somewhere in your life. Now, at this point, you might be wondering why he was doing all these things. Well, of course, the main reason is for divination. But it was not for his own personal use. It was for everyone. It was for predicting the weather and locating the new area. Now, they were so important for us at that time because the language hasn't been invented and we knew nothing about our surroundings. Being able to forecast the weather and know where we are anytime gave us a sense of control. No wonder Chinese people still honor and worship Fuxi until today. As time goes by, I Ching got further developed by King Zhou of Wan and Confucius. It finally ending up something like this. This is called 64 hexagrams. It is basically the combination between 8 trigrams, which I mentioned earlier. Now, each of the hexagrams has its own unique meaning of human life and experiences. Just like tarot cards, people interpret each of them to gain insight into what they want to know. For example, this is hexagram number 5, waiting or nourishment, made up with upper trigram water and lower trigram heaven. And this is the explanation of this hexagram written in the book. Now, things getting more interesting when each lambda of the hexagram was further given its own meaning. For instance, we still take hexagram number 5 waiting as example. These are the meanings for each lines. As you can see from here, these meanings are not very easy to understand. Lucky enough, you don't have to remember all these things because all these explanations written in the book were very broad and basic. The whole purpose of the I Ching is to inspire you to come up with your own explanations based on your own life experiences. And this brings us to 3 basic principles of I Ching. Everything is constantly changing. And because changing takes place in an orderly manner, once we discover it, everything will be easier for us to understand. And once we realize nothing is unchangeable, we shall find peace and harmony. Last but not least, I Ching has given birth to many other divination tools, such as Feng Shui, Ba Zi, and so on. It has helped people all over the world to solve different kinds of issues. I Ching is no wonder one of the most underrated and valuable books in human history. That's it for this video. I hope you...
Okay, now let's come back to class. So this I Ching is the original philosopher book, the number 1 philosopher book. But it's very difficult to read. Even me, I study Asian Chinese, but I not totally understand this book. So there are a lot of another book to explain this book. And this book explains the whole world, how to change it. So this is magical book in China. It's this book. It's under it can't understand now. So a lot of book will explain this book. So we know this book by understand other books. Very important. 易经，易经。So number one, 经 经 actually in English maybe it's mean Bible, but this Bible is not for God. This Bible is for the rule of the world, the rule of the university, how they functional. So 易经 is the Bible of the world, Bible of the universe. That's me to 风水易经 concentrates on the idea of dynamic balance of opposites, yin yang, right? The evolution of events as a process and acceptance of the inevitability of the change. The changing, you can't stop it. You have to accept it. But you need to change yourself to react the change. So this consists of series of symbols. No, so you need to change yourself. The rule of manipulating these symbols, points, and commentary. So this is a feng shui. So feng shui is very, very important in Chinese country, and it's useful. It's like a little like you can't understand, but it's functional. See, this is feng shui. So when you want maybe you want to change your life, you want to have fortune, or you want to change it specifically the result of exam, you want to change you will recruit by a bigger company, you need to change yourself, your talking, your reaction. Also, something is kind of understandable, like change your position, your furniture position in your home, your change your furniture in your company will improve your business. So this is a little but it's according to this e-book. So feng shui is very important, and a lot of foreigners also believe this feng shui. So you need to change yourself, change your surrounding, then you can change your destiny. That's feng shui. So it's a lot of um, a lot of rules in China to how to build your country, how to arrange your home, where put where which direction direct the door face to. So which furniture put in the first room, which furniture you need, the bed, the direction of your bed, it should be in this direction, should not beside the window. That's a lot of rules. This rules is not so scientific, but this is exists. It will change. So feng shui in China is now foreigners also want to change their thing. They want to be successful. They will ask people who know feng shui to reorganize his surroundings. Maybe his company's arrangement. Maybe build another wall in his yard. Maybe open this wall with a door and face this side. A lot of things. This is 风水。But 风水 always 跟阴阳有关。It's yin and yang to produce 风水。所以 in 风水 also very important. Now let's check the 阴阳。
If you want to learn I Ching or interested in Chinese philosophy, or want to discover the ultimate secret of the universe, you have to know what is yin and yang. Now, you don't have to know Chinese. It doesn't matter what kind of educational background do you have. Doesn't matter how old are you or where you come from. After this video, you will know everything about yin and yang. Now, hopefully, this will give you different perspective into the way you see your life. Now, let's get started. Let's start with something simple. Yin and yang, they are not nouns, they are adjectives. They are not words to identify things, but to describe. If I have an apple here, I want to describe its color. From this angle, I can say it's red. But if I turn around to here, I can say it's yellow. And if I point where the red and the yellow merges, I also can say it's pink. Now, just for apple itself, I already can use more than 2 colors to describe it. Now imagine, if I ask you to just describe the whole world into 2 categories, which is yin and yang. How impossible just for anyone to write it down into a piece of paper about everything. But here are some very important features which I think you should remember. Take a look. Obviously, yin and yang are opposite to each other. At this point, if you can understand, the whole world is made by these 2 conflicting energies, which we like to call qi. Congratulations, you only have 2/3 to go. Now here comes the twist. I can also say yin is yang and the yang is yin. Wait a minute, you just said yin and yang, they are opposite to each other. How come now they are equal to each other? Let me explain. By saying this, I actually apply 2 meanings. First, yin has a bit of feature of yang in itself, and the yang has a bit of feature of yin in itself. Second, yin can sometimes turn into yang, and the yang can sometimes turn into yin. Here are some examples so you can better understand. Sun is the most representative feature of the yang. It is hot, round, and bright. But guess what? Even in such an extreme instance, there is still yin inside of the sun, which is called sunspot. How about moon? Moon is often considered the most representative feature of the yin. It is cold, uneven, and dark. Dark? Well, since the moon can't emit its own light, moonlight is actually sunlight that shines on the moon and bounces off. And this is actually what the yang part of the moon. Another typical example is a male and a female. Somewhere in your life, you must have encountered or heard someone who is male but behaves like a female, or a female behaves like a male.
This is it's a very famous Chinese actor. He is a man, but he look like a female.
Like a female, or a female behaves like a male. But how about yin and yang are exchangeable? Just like good people can become bad, bad people can also become good if their intention changes. In the end of the day, sun is still the sun, moon is still the moon, and gender won't easily change. All you need to understand is, there's nothing in the world which is 100% yin or 100% yang, just like there's no 100% good or bad people. 1/3 to go. Now this is the final and probably the hardest part of this video. Now I'm saying 1 is equal to, and 2 is equal 1. Stop right there, Yan. That doesn't make any sense. First you say yin and yang, they are opposite to each other, and then you say yin and yang, they are equal to each other. But now you're saying 1 is equal to, which a 3-year-old kid is probably laughing at me right now. Just Hear me out on this one. I'll explain to you as usual. I have a chopstick here, which is 1 at the moment. Now let's say if I snap this into half, which becomes 2, right? But what can I do to bring it back to 1 again? I can either just simply sticky tape it or maybe glue them back together. But what does that tell us? The whole world is just like this chopstick. When I snap this into half, this means the whole world is made up by 2 energies, which is yin and yang. So let's say this bit is yang. If I want to snap this into half again, it will just become another yin and yang. So you can do as many times as you want. In the end of the day, as long as this comes from the same original chopstick, you can always bring them back together if you're willing to. You just have to find the right way. Yin and yang are just like 2 sides of the coin. When you go to shop and buy things, can you just tell the cashier, can I pay these things just by 1 side of my coin? In order to feel better, there must be something worse happening at first place. There will always be bad people existing in this world as long as we start to labeling the good people. Yin and yang always exist in opposite form but also unite as one. The whole universe comes from Big Bang. I'm not talking about human beings, but everything else in the universe is in complete order and balance. There must be something in common about them to share in order to achieve this highly peaceful and harmonious state. And the answer is yin and yang. That's it, well done. I'm glad you finished this video. If you found this helpful, please share to the others and please consider to subscribe to my channel. Now, before you
So more detail about
one
yin and yang
question for you,
you
to see whether you
you
understand
should come to my classroom.
you enjoy. If you learn something
Why?
or wish to see
Why
more
can't
videos
stop?
like this, please consider to subscribe to my channel.
好 So next lesson you can come to my class, Mr. Yang, Mr. Yang's class, to do more of to get more information about the yin and yang. And but we will move to this is what we talk yang and yin. So it's everything you have yin and yang 2 sides together. So you can't separate totally yin and yang. So you use this yin and yang to produce anything and change your life. Change your life. Let's see this one. So now it goes to the philosopher again. This originally. But in a time, there is a lot of philosophers, not just Confucius, a lot of, we call that is 百家争鸣. That means contention of 100 schools of thought. At that time, a lot of thinkers, a lot of philosophers, they make their sound, they express their views. So this time, a lot of book, and Confucius is one of them. But most influential, this school is not school, is the kind of philosopher, is Confucianism, and Taoism, and Morism is 墨家in Chinese, and legalism is 法家. So this is the most important 4 schools, 4 kind of philosophers in China, but all come from yin and yang, Taiji. So even the philosopher have yin and yang, a different kind. And first we will introduce the This is a 百家争鸣, a lot of philosophers. Very long ago, at this time, BC, right? So it's maybe 3,000, almost 3,000 years, more than 2,000 years ago. More than 2,000 years ago, this philosopher already there. There are four, mainly there are four, but actually there's a lot of philosopher at this time. So most important is this four. So this is the basic of Chinese philosopher. This four is basic. Now, next lesson we will go to Confucianism. This is the most important. This is the most important, and because time limit, and we will stop here. And the next week, I think it's offline again. We will talk about the most Confucianism, and we will learn a great man, Confucius. So I think you learn these philosophers can change your thought, can change your recognize of the world. This is a secret how Chinese civilization never stop. We just never be broke our culture. The culture exists. This is only exist in the world. The ancient civilization still here, still continued to nowadays. There are four ancient civilized country long ago, maybe 5,000 years, 4,000 years ago, but three of them is lost. Ancient Babylon, ancient India, ancient Greece, but there's no ancient China. That's just China, because China, the civilization is still continued. So this is the root of China culture. Why we didn't stop? We didn't lose our civilization. This is a secret. We always look things in developing view, even now. So everything is changed. Everything yin yang still there. It's changeable. Yin and yang. Yang will be yin, yin and be yang. And then we will use this to develop feng shui to change your life. The feng shui, most positive of feng shui is change yourself to react to the changing world. So remember this word, this sentence. You need to remember you will success. Changing your mind, changing your reaction quickly to the changing world. Okay, that's for all today. Thank you for coming and see you next week at the same time. See you.